All right, welcome. First thing, Joseph, just introduce yourself, name, position, and class.
Hi, I'm Joseph Engin. I'm a quarterback and right-handed pitcher, and I'm in the class of 2026 at Archbishop Mitty.
Awesome. And just kind of talk about how your year's gone. You said you play football and baseball, so talk about the football season a little bit, what you learned during that, and how the early parts of baseball season's going so far.
Yeah, so the football season definitely was a grind. I got pulled up late as a sophomore on varsity and definitely learned a lot. And this season, I was just trying to perfect my craft, get better. Fortunately, we didn't make the playoffs, so we didn't get the result we wanted, but definitely a lot of learning experience for next year. And when I get the reins of the team, hopefully we can make some noise in CCS. And then for baseball, I started off well. I actually threw a no hitter in my first appearance, so that was good. And then just pitched yesterday, so just trying to carry the momentum into league.
Talk about maybe the similarities that you have and what you can kind of feed off of on the football throwing motion and the baseball throwing motion, and how the two maybe help each other.
Yeah, so definitely the number one thing would be arm strength. I mean, everyone I can throw both very well and far. But the counter to that is the motions. Everyone says the motions are the same, but they're actually very different. Like you don't want to be throwing the football like a baseball. You don't want to be throwing the baseball like a football. So it's definitely challenging to mix the two, and it creates problems mechanically. But the number one thing is just it helps your arm. I've built up a lot of arm strength over the years playing both, and I can make any throw on the field because of playing baseball.
Over your high school career, what do you think would be the biggest challenge that you've been able to overcome, whether it be football, baseball, or both?
I think the biggest challenge I had to overcome was last year for baseball. My second outing as a sophomore on varsity was the like one of the worst moments of my life. I gave 5 runs in 1 inning and got 2 outs, and very low point in my life. It was very bad. Contemplated like what my role on the team was. It was embarrassing, but then just Coach Yaki, great coach, helped me out of it, and I think that was definitely the biggest hurdle I had to overcome. Was I had to kill the confidence a little bit and just put my head down and work, getting the ball in the zone, throwing the curveball for a strike, and that helped me eventually and helped us win CCS, which was a big deal for the program.
Going from that low point to throwing no hitters now, and like you said, winning a CCS championship last year, how does that make you feel, kind of emotion wise, and how much better does it make you feel as a pitcher now?
Yeah, definitely. It feels great when all the hard work pays off. It's a kind of a surreal moment when I threw the complete game no hitter. And actually, the cool thing about it was that was a year from my worst outing ever, which was in the same tournament. So it's a surreal moment. I had to work really hard to get where I'm at today as a pitcher. Even though I was naturally gifted with obviously my size at being 6'6", it's hard to control sometimes, and it's just a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into it, and it just makes it all worth it when the results start to show.
Where do you think that motivation comes from to put in all that work and get through some adversity in your life and try and be the best you can be? Where do you think that motivation comes from?
Yeah, I feel like when most people answer this question, they say it's like an external factor, like their parents. But for me, it's just I love it. It's all internal. I love sports. I love football. Love baseball. I dream of playing at the collegiate level for both. And it just I don't want to let the 5-year-old kid in me down by not working as hard as I can to achieve my goal. So I do it because I love it. I play it because I love it.
Is there a moment that you fell in love with sports and just being competitive, or did it just kind of come naturally? You just always had it in you?
Yeah, I think it would be hard to point out a particular moment where I fell in love with sports, but my dad never played football, or and my mom has never played a sport. So I think it's just over time throwing the football. My dad didn't play baseball either, so just really just honing my skills, and then you learn to love the process, and in turn when you see the results. I mean, there's just nothing like it.
With your parents not being super into sports, who are some people that have kind of helped you get along in the process, and maybe someone that you looked up to as you started to become better at sports?
Yeah, so my dad played basketball. Actually, he was a good
Okay.
basketball player. He's really tall, so I know he's very tall. But one person that I definitely look up to that's a great role model is my baseball coach, actually, Coach Yaki. And he's never taught me a thing about like throwing the fastball hard or how to get in the zone, but he's just baseball is so mental, and playing quarterback is also just so mental, and he helps so much with the mental side of it, and like breaking down like this self confidence and just working, and the mental cliffs that he's helped me get off of and helped me climb mountains. It's just it pays dividends. So definitely, he's probably one of the reasons where I'm at where I am today.
And then jump into the recruiting world for a little bit, just kind of the highs and lows that you've experienced in it, and how everything's been going for both football and baseball.
Yeah, so football has definitely been a little frustrating. Sending out a bunch of emails, don't get as many responses as I'd like. Not as many follow back on Twitter. So it's definitely it's a hard process, it's a tough process. But I try to remind myself, like guys like Josh Allen, who I look up to, had no offers coming out of high school, and I'm in a similar position. But I know I truly believe if I do what I can do my senior season, that some offers and whatever school decides to take a chance on me, it'll they'll be lucky to have a guy like me on the team, hopefully.
What would it mean to you to get an opportunity to play at that next level? What, no matter where it might be, whether it be a Wyoming like Josh Allen, a JUCO, or D2, whatever it might be.
It would mean the world. I mean, when I was a little kid, I'd go outside and pretend I was playing in front of 100,000 people every day. Just go outside, throw myself around on the grass. So it would definitely be a dream come true. A lot of stress, relieved knowing that I made it, and probably a very joyful moment knowing that all the work I put in is finally paid off.
What do you think is your best attribute as an athlete and as a football player and a baseball player?
I'd probably say my arm strength for both sports. You know, I can throw the baseball pretty hard for my age, and then my arm strength for football is pretty prevalent. So definitely, just being able to sit back there and fire it, make any throw that I can.
And going into your last, you got 2 seasons left basically of baseball and 1 season left of football. What are the goals for the next 12 months that you have?
Yeah, definitely win CCS for both baseball and football. You know, a huge goal of mine has been to lead the football team to a Division 1 playoff berth, like my freshman year. So Mitty hasn't been back since. So definitely trying to bring us to Division 1 and hopefully win the whole thing. That'd be a huge goal. And definitely for baseball, just try to replicate what we did last year. You know, we lost a lot of guys, but I think our team is definitely talented enough, and if we mesh together well, we could repeat what we did in 2024.
And then last question I have for you, it's kind of more of a fun one. If you could have dinner with any athlete, past, present, who would it be and why?
Who, any athlete ever? I'd probably go. You know, I really look up to like guys like Joe Montana and Josh Allen, but if I had to pick one, I'd have to go prime time. Big time football, baseball player, and maybe get myself recruited to Colorado. Who knows?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joseph. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.